Good morning. My name is Mick Zase. I'm the former State Superintendent of Education. You know, the number one predictor of future performance is past performance. And as South Carolina's past Superintendent of Education, I know that no governor in America has been more successful at reforming education than Governor Jeb Bush. Hispanic students in Florida read at a higher level than all students in South Carolina. As Governor, Jeb Bush expanded scholarships for special needs students so they could find a school that fit their needs, and provided scholarships to low-income students who were stuck in perennially failing schools with no escape and no options, and where zip code is destiny. Based not on rhetoric, not on promises, but past performance, I know that Governor Bush will lead our education establishment. Now, lots of people have opinions on national defense, but not all opinions are equally well as informed by experience and knowledge. As a retired paratrooper, ranger, and general, and the Pentagon's former chief of war plans, I can tell you that no candidate has a plan for success in the Middle East that is as comprehensive, achievable, and practical as Governor Bush's plan. Now it's my distinct opportunity to introduce a longtime friend and a man whom I admire greatly, Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator Graham is a retired Air Force colonel who's been to the Middle East theater on official business 36 times. No one will be a better advisor to Governor Bush, who understands the problems in the Middle East better than Senator Lindsey Graham. Thank you very much, Senator.
Thank you, General. Thank you all. Thank you all very much. Well, to America, it is your job to pick the next Commander-in-Chief for the 1% of Americans and their families who serve in uniform, who defend us against radical Islam and other threats. The only way you can become Commander-in-Chief in America is for the American people to pick you through voting. I tried to run a campaign that centered on how to defend America against multiple threats, how to rebuild a military that's in decline, how to reestablish our presence in the world that's so desperately needed, how to create a sense of respect and fear in our enemies and among our friends, a reassurance. I fell short. I'm proud of the effort. Now I am a citizen having to cast my vote as to who I want to be Commander-in-Chief for that 1% fighting force. I have concluded without any hesitation, without any doubt, that Jeb Bush is ready on day one to be a Commander-in-Chief worthy of the sacrifices of the 1% who have been fighting this war. Last night, he said, I will have their backs. I believe he will. Last night, he explained in the best possible terms why we need partners to win a war that we can't afford to lose. To those of you who worry about going it alone, you don't have to worry with Jeb, because he understands that America can't go it alone. But of all others running for president, I think he has the ability to bring the world on board. Mr. Trump doubled down on the idea that we as a nation should ban every Muslim in the world, at least temporarily, from coming to our great country. I can't think of a worse idea in terms of how to fight and win this war. Many of the people running for president are eerily silent on this issue. Last night, I heard from Jeb Bush the right answer, that we need to vet and make sure that those who come from war-torn regions are properly vetted so they don't infiltrate our country to do harm. But we cannot and should not declare war on a religion, because when you do, you make it almost impossible to form the partnerships that are so desperately needed to protect our country. What Jeb Bush understands, I think, better than anyone else, is that this is a religious war, and the only way to win this war is to partner with people in the faith to destroy a common enemy. Last night, he did not talk the most, but he made the most sense. Last night, he demonstrated somebody who, in my view, is ready on day one to be Commander-in-Chief, and a temperament that the next Commander-in-Chief needs to possess. Someone who's thoughtful, quietly resolved to protect America's interest, and capable of reaching out to the world at large to reset a world that is very much in danger. It is not enough to criticize Barack Obama. You have to have an alternative to leading from behind, and Jeb Bush has that alternative. His plan to defeat ISIL is the most comprehensive and well thought out of anyone on both sides of the aisle. And finally, when it comes to speaking up and speaking out about emotional issues like immigration, the thing I admire most about Jeb, and he stayed true to who he is, that he hasn't tried to get ahead in a contested primary by embracing demagoguery. He's not running to be Commander-in-Chief by running people down. He's trying to create the ability to grow our party that desperately needs to grow. Here's what I'm convinced of more than anything else, that if Jeb Bush is President of the United States, he will put the country ahead of the party. That he was a governor of a very diverse state that brought people together. America is a very diverse country, desperately in need of leadership to bring us together. As to South Carolina, we have a reputation of picking the most conservative person who can win. I think Jeb, by any reasonable definition, is a fiscal